Greetings and thank you for joining me as I discuss my thoughts and ask some questions that maybe you can help me with regarding Chapter 3 of the Book of Boba Fett, The Streets of Mos Espa. We start at the palace, as did the previous two chapters. Boba and Fennec are being debriefed by 8D8 on the situation going on in Mos Espa. Unfortunately, still no vibes, as it's dead quiet. No band, no patrons, nothing. I wonder if Boba spent all his credits on that nice Bactapod. The meeting is interrupted by a watermonger named Lortha Peel. He offers Boba double patronage if he can help with the street gang stealing his water. Boba agrees to this and takes to the streets in search of the group named the Mods. When confronted by Boba and Fennec, the Mods explain they stole because Lortha Peel is charging triple for water. This information provides an opportunity for the new daimyo to show his new philosophy of respect over fear. He gives the Mods a shot at a job while telling the watermonger to lower his prices or move to Mos Eisley. Lortha Peel seems to have a plan with how to deal with these new rules, so I'm sure we're not done with seeing him just yet. Chapter 3 then transitions into its now famous flashbacks. Following up on Chapter 2, Boba is now part of the Tusken tribe. I really enjoyed some of the shots of Boba on the back of the Bantha going on the reminiscing ride through the sands of Tatooine. I have a question for all you lore experts. Let me know in the comments, is Boba the first person to act as a delegator for the Tuskens to the Off-Worlders? Boba's first collection meeting with the Pikes takes a twist. Now the Pikes are playing games, and I told you in my Chapter 2 video, don't be messing with them Pikes. They are already in business for protection with the Kintan Striders, the Nikto speederbike gang that Boba has already confidently handled. But as Boba leaves to deal with the Kintan Striders for the final time, he doesn't know that the Pikes have probably already given them the same message. As he rides back into Tusken territory, he is met with the devastating sight of smoke upon the horizon. Boba's time with the Tuskens was truly transformative for both the character and me personally as a viewer. Getting insight into how the Tuskens live in the sands, and specifically those few little tricks they showed, was some very special Star Wars for me. Speaking of special Star Wars, we transition out of the flashbacks into a Wookiee ass-whooping. There's a few things I want to address about the sneak attack from Black Chrysanthemum, so here we go. First, did Boba really try to single leg a Wookiee? Some of you may be unfamiliar, so a single leg is a way to take down your opponent to the ground. You are going to need some divine intervention from the Force if this is going to work as a human versus a Wookiee. Next up, I want to say that Boba's backup did their job pretty well. The Mods arrive and get BK away from Boba, putting up a small but predictably unsuccessful fight. Next, the Gamorreans do a good job of just showing up. Their presence distracts BK as he distances himself from his target. To finish the fight, we have Master Assassin Fennec Shand showing her skills, trapping BK in the Rancorless pit. So all in all, a pretty good effort from this ragtag group of palace protectors. The following day, Boba and Fennec discuss the second assassination attempt. They are interrupted by the Hutts, who come bearing a gift and an apology for sending BK to kill Boba. The twins also inform Boba that Tatooine has been promised to another syndicate by the mayor Mos Eisley. They will head back to Nal Hutta with no interest of war. So if this is the last we see of the twins or any Hutts in the series, I'm hoping Disney saw the reaction and it's not too long before we see the family again. Same goes for Black Chrysanthemum I think there's a fairly high chance he could show up in the future chapters of this series. But that could totally be me just being hopeful we get more of him and Boba. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas on how these characters could return in the future. Now we reach my favorite part of the chapter, the return of a Rancor to the palace. As Mistress Fennec exclaims, this is quite the gift. This Rancor is a calf bred from fighting champions, but is currently depressed. As we learn, Rancor can carry a wide range of emotions. Boba's imprinting and enthusiasm to learn to ride is leaving me with a need for weekly Rancor updates. I'm sure we will learn the name in Chapter 4. I have no ideas and haven't really had time to look any up. Are there any out there? Let me know in the comments. Another quick thought was, if we get a flashback featuring Boba riding the creature he says is 10 times the size of the Rancor. Or it could just be a throwaway reference to the old holiday special. A matter of business interrupts Boba's Rancor playtime when 8D8 informs Boba that the mayor is doing his best to avoid another meeting. This leads into the chase scene that is getting the most attention from this chapter. After my initial viewing, it did feel a little out of place, but after learning more than I already did about how Robert Rodriguez directs, this seems like just a shout out to some of his favorite filmmakers. Regarding the mods, I don't think we need to spend too much time with them. They can just be the backup or run the workers district. They do seem capable as they stop the Major Domo, who has no choice but to tell Boba that the mayor is working with the Pikes and is off planet. Chapter 3 comes to a close as we start to see the story reveal itself. At the end of Chapter 2, I was under the impression that the Hutts were the target. Now, turning to Chapter 4, we know that the Pikes are preparing for a territory war. This leaves me with a few questions to end today's video. Will we see Boba go off planet to deal with the mayor? Can he go off planet since he's the daimyo? Also, which families in Mos Espa do you think will back Boba? Out of the Aqualish, the Trandoshans, and the Klatooinians. That's all I have for Chapter 3. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you are happy and healthy, and that your Star Wars genes stay high and tight.